what happens when you mix up a French holiday, an antique canon, and a ton of questionable judgment? Well, I guess you end up with Seattle's first nightclub and the wildest origin story in history. Story time. Meet Shelly Bauman, the exotic dancer turned accidental disco queen, who proved that sometimes the universe has a very twisted sense of humor and even a more twisted sense of destiny. Because picture it, it's 1970, and while most people are busy being just sensibly boring, Shelly is watching the Bastille Day Parade in Seattle when somebody thought it'd be a brilliant idea to stuff an antique cannon with confetti, alcohol, and some questionable life choices. Spoiler alert, this doesn't end well. One misfired cannon later, Shelley found herself in the hospital signing away her left leg with her roommate holding her hand and demanding that she just sign your name, just sign your name. Because nothing says quite life-changing moment like some emergency amputation paperwork. But here's where things get good, because instead of wallowing, Shelley took her $330,000 settlement, which is about $2 million in today's money, and she did what any reasonable person would do, and she opened Seattle's first disco. She calls it Shelley's leg because if you're going to lose a limb during a parade, you might as well make it your entire personal brand. So the club becomes so popular that they have a special back entrance with a Rolodex full of VIP names because 70s. And the bar actually has a sign that proudly declares Shelley's Leg is a gay bar provided for Seattle's gay community and their guests. Because in this 1970s, that kind of boldness was basically a middle finger to the establishment, and this girl had two hands. Of course, because the universe isn't done with this cosmic joke, the club eventually met its demise when, wait for it, there's an oil tanker that explodes on the viaduct just above it. Because apparently normal problems like just standard tax audits are just too boring for Shelley and her leg. But Shelley herself is the kind of woman that just can't stop, won't stop. She lived a life that was like daring fate to try her at every step of the way. This is the kind of woman that, despite only having one leg, buys the fanciest of shoes, even if she only wears one of them. This girl has my heart when she would pause all the films at Val Kilmer's close-ups, because why wouldn't you? And she also has the habit of running over people who get in front of her with a wheelchair because lead follower get out of her way. She ends up accidentally setting herself on fire when she's smoking while wearing her oxygen tubes because choices. And while she might have been afraid of dying, she never let it stop her from living. And that's the thing about Shelley. She turned tragedy into triumph every step of the way. Then she ended up turning that triumph into a hell of a party. So now her club sign hangs in Seattle's Museum of History and Industry, proving that sometimes the best way to make history is to roll with whatever curveballs or cannonballs life throws at you.